YouTube? In today's video, I'm gonna help you guys decide in between the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. Now, this is a tough decision for a lot of users, even for me myself. Last year, I started off with the 14 Pro, and then I eventually switched to the 14 Pro Max. And this year, I wanna help you guys decide which one is the right one for you. It's a tough decision because it's like in our hearts, we know that this size of form factor feels good in the hand. It's a nice lightweight phone. It's not too much. It's like the good middle ground. It's like the perfect size phone. Decent size display, but this also comes with some trade-offs in comparison to its counterpart, the larger 15 Pro Max. That's in the area of battery size, display size, and this year, camera hardware, and a couple other things in the photo video department. But outside of that, these devices are both high premium, high end devices. So let's get into what separates them. Let's get into all the nits and grits, and I'm gonna help you guys make a decision as to which size 15 Pro you should go with. And also, like, what's my thoughts? This year we got titanium, which is a super duper plus. It is so nice to have these devices have a weight reduction. And with that being said, let's talk about the weight. Now, if you go with the smaller iPhone 15 Pro, you're at a 187 grams versus the 15 Pro Max's 221 gram weight. You know, it's the difference of 1.2 ounces in between the two. So that's something to keep in mind. So the next topic of discussion after weight is sizing. Now with the 15 Pro, you have a 5.7 inch height, a 2.78 inch width with a 0.33 inch siding. Now, for those of you who are in millimeters, it's all on the screen. Now, with the 15 Pro Max, you have a 6.3 inch height with a 3.02 inch width and the exact same thickness at 0.33 inches. So the real difference is in the height, as you can see these two side by side, and then the display sizing. So the OLED panel in between these two is obviously a different size. All right, let's start off with the 15 Pro. This is a 6.1 inch LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED 120 Hertz display panel with a max brightness of 2000 nits peak. It's ceramic shield glass and it has the always on display. On to the 15 Pro Max. Now this one is a 6.7 inch with a max peak brightness of 2000 nits with the same ratio of 19.5 by 9 and a 460 ppi pixel density. So really when it comes to these OLED panels, the real separating factor is the sizing. 6.7 inches versus 6.1. Which size OLED panel do you want to use and interact with on a daily? Now some people have concerns with the 15 Pro Max as to reachability and usability with one hand. If you use this device for a while, you develop your own techniques like the pinky rest, the slide down and hit like this and this. So there's a lot of maneuvering and movements, but these movements come at a risk if you decide not to use a case. So for those of you out there, this is hard-earned money. Go ahead and put a case on it. And don't worry, I have an accessory case video coming up for you. Beyond the Apple cases, I'm gonna show you guys leather good cases that you gotta get third party. So stay tuned for that video. You already know, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell. So the one-handed usability is always questioned with the 15 Pro Max due to its size. But then you have the 15 Pro, which isn't questioned because it fits in the majority of hands super easily. And it's just a nice one-handed device in comparison from top to bottom with super ease. Now, 15 Pro Max, top to bottom. As you can see, I know my gymnastics with my hand and so forth. So again, personal preference when it comes to display size. As far as the platform, it's exactly the same. Both of these have this brand new Apple A17 Pro chip. Same Apple GPU 6-core graphics this year. Due to that, A17 Pro chip, I don't think there's any separating factor in between these two when it comes to platform and performance. Now, what is different is in the physical hardware of cameras. So let's discuss that really quick. Now, when you come to the selfie camera, it's the exact same 12 megapixel front-facing camera on these two devices. And I'm gonna take you guys outside and show you these different cameras, but let me break down the technical specs really quick. So let's flip these over. They both have the same 48 megapixel wide camera. When it comes to the telephoto, that's where things are different. You have a 77 millimeter on the 15 Pro versus 120 millimeter on the 15 Pro Max. And this is that new teleprism lens goodness that's happening on the 15 Pro Max. So let's go outside and test these and see if there's any truth to claim on those separating factors. Okay, so this is the 5X camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which I'll show you in comparison to the 15 Pro's 3X camera. Is there an improvement? Now I'm in direct sunlight. All right, so right now I'm using the 3X lens on the iPhone 15 Pro. I did the exact same video with the 15 Pro Max, but with the 5X lens. So we can put these side by side and have a slight comparison as to the quality, the compression, and just seeing where that 5X teleprism lens takes you in comparison to the typical 3X that we have on the 15 Pro. Okay, so got some video coming from the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And man, from the viewfinder on here, I could tell this is about to be just premium fire. Now I am using an ND filter because I want to show the best of the best of what this camera has to offer. iPhone 15 Pro and that blue titanium right here. We got the natural titanium 15 Pro Max that I'm using to shoot this video right now, but this is just the wide angle lens, getting straight to the quality. All right, y'all, so right now I'm headed to go pick up my shades, prescription shades, check out some dynamic range. I don't really have clouds or anything, but I'm in the shade and everything behind me is lit by the sun, as you can see. So iPhone 15 Pro, not the Max, seeing what it's working with, baby. All right, so I just picked up my new shades. This is a challenging situation because the sun is directly behind me. Now, if I flip this way where the sun is hitting me, things really get into proper, like, you know, alignment and so forth. Now, in general, as you can see, along the same hardware camera sets, the results should be similar to almost the same. The only separation is in that telephoto and if you have a use case for it or not. And now that camera is out of the way, let's get into the next very important topic between the two, and that is battery life and battery sizing. So you have a 3,274 milliamp hour battery inside of the iPhone 15 Pro versus the iPhone 15 Pro Max's 4,422 milliamp hours. Yes, the display is larger on the 15 Pro Max by 0.6 inches, but again, the Pro Max is where you go for the battery. If you're someone who's a heavy user and you just despise low battery, screen on time on some of these other devices, the Pro Max is where you go. But it does come at the compromise of a larger device, a larger display, a larger one-handed user experience. Speaking of user experience, that'll be our last and final topic, so stay tuned for that. When it comes to battery life in between these two, I actually charged them both to 100 yesterday at the same time. Now, fun fact, I just turned my always on display on earlier today. So I didn't have that running on the Pro Max, but I had it running on the 15 Pro. And this is too early to tell in battery, so I'm gonna give you guys an update in the future, like, you know, long-term reviews, obviously, but they're both sitting at about the same battery. With the truth being, I've used the 15 Pro Max way more than I have the 15 Pro. Now they both have SIM card and cellular access, business line, personal line, and that's how it's going. And the 15 Pro Max is a device that I'm using the most because it's the device I chose for my personal use. Now, I chose the 15 Pro as a business device which isn't going to see nearly as much use, but it's going to give me the same experience and allow me to have clear perspective in between the two, using them simultaneously next to one another. But I will tell you this from previous experience when it comes to sizing. It's all about the user experience. You get a great battery life user experience with the Pro Max devices, and if that's something that's super crucial to you, then the Pro Max device is obviously a clear winner if you're that in depth about battery life. A heavy gamer or anything that drills on the battery a lot, you want to do high-end, the Pro video features that are in this Pro Max and this Pro device, the battery life goes a long way. But we do have USB-C now, but we don't have crazy fast charging. But there are a lot of accessories in today's world to keep with you to help you extend these battery lives, such as things like the MagSafe battery case, which Apple has removed from their website, but you can go into an Apple store and still get it. Now this utilizes the Lightning port. I'm assuming Apple's gonna update these to USB-C possibly. That would be nice, but things like this, there's many ways to extend battery life. Like if you were to go with the Pro model and you were on the heavier side, but you needed to help extend that battery because you're just a battery drainer, then you would have to utilize external accessories such as this. And this is a good way to extend this battery life for heavy users. I'm talking about heavy users. The typical normal user, I'm gonna be honest, the 15 Pro should be plenty battery for you. I'm gonna make a top accessory video coming up with the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max with a bunch of other accessories. So I got you guys, stay tuned for that. You already know what to do. Subscribe and turn on the bell. But that's my tidbit on battery life. The Pro Max obviously is the king of battery in this realm, but the 15 Pro or Pro model iPhone is always gonna hold its own as well. Now let's get into user experience, because that's the area that matters most. When you combine all of those specs that we're talking about, what is the everyday user experience? If you consume a lot of media and you like larger OLED panels, larger displays, then the Pro Max is the big boy, you know what I mean? I'm just talking about in sizing and visibility. But the main key factor with the Pro Max in this year's user experience is for those pro camera users that take advantage of these pro camera upgrades in the 15 Pro. And that's really the gist of going with the Max model. It's for the big battery, heavy using, pro photo video taking type of users. But the iPhone 15 Pro user experience is for those who just want a casual size smartphone, everyday please to use and carry, weight and size, a pocketable, more pocketable device in comparison to this one, and a solid battery life to get you through any solid work day, a solid pro caliber camera array, but you're not trying to go extra pro and do ProRes log and all that other stuff. You just want the Pro iPhone without the Pro Max. This is where you land and this is where you go. You know what I mean? You save a couple bucks in comparison and you have a nice, light, compact, pro caliber iPhone. So with that being said, it's literally 100,000% coming down to the user experience you're seeking. These devices are very much neck and neck and very much separated in specific categories, if that makes sense. But outside of that, it's literally, do you want a smaller, lighter, more compact, less on the pro camera video nonsense, and just straight to a pro iPhone user experience without the extras, then you go iPhone 15 Pro. But for those who want the max battery, the max camera hardware offering, the max iPhone experience, then you go with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Hopefully that helped you guys decide in between these two as to which device you want or need for your everyday user experience. My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech. This is the Tech Corner. And this is where you need to subscribe and turn on the bell for more tech takes. The real ones, not the cap, not the jaded. I'm excited about these phones. They are absolutely great. The upgrades, even though they may not seem massive and over the top, man, there's a lot of you guys who are coming from iPhone 11s, 12s, 13s. You guys are gonna enjoy this. And even there are 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max users upgrading and enjoying this. Just read the comment section. Listen to the real people like me. Peace. Ooh. You technology snobs, I done just about had it with all of y'all. Listen, duck.
No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. Need no middleman, I'm the man to man, send it in. I like what I like, me, I know my rights to sipping in. I like having fun, I do what I want, it's what it is. For my son and son, for my daughters, yeah, it's for my twin. I work through the night.